Hello, all my little weirdos, and welcome back to Witchy Wednesdays, where each week we dust off our brooms and take off into the history of a legendary wicked witch. This week we are taking off to Scotland, where a seemingly normal woman in the 1600s started running with the wrong crowd and got mixed up in witchery. But this particular witch didn't go down ashamed. She sang her confessions from the rooftops loud and proud. Let me introduce to you Isobel Gowdie. Just like any other story coming from that long ago, not a whole lot is known about Isabel's life before her confessions. It is unclear when she was born, how old she was when she confessed, or who she was married to. There isn't even actual documentation of her execution. We're pretty much all just assuming that she was burned at the stake because that's just what happened to witches who confessed. What is believed is that before she got into witchcraft, she lived a pretty routine and laborious life as a peasant, probably spending her days milking cows, spinning yarn, or baking. There was a gal who lived in the same village that is said to be the reason Isabel got into the witchy stuff. Her name was Margaret Brodie, and I can bet that she regretted bringing Isabel into her crowd once it was all said and done, but we'll get into that. Another one of Isabel's pals that brought her to the dark side was the devil himself. She confessed that she just ran into the devil one day and he seduced her with some little parlor trick. And that parlor trick showed her just how much power he had and how much power she could have. And lady just said, "Shut up and take my money." After that, Isabel ventured off to a parish church where she said she met up with the devil, Margie Girl, and the rest of the coven. She was baptized in that church by the devil with her own blood. And later, she consummated her relationship with the devil. She described him as a large black rough man with hooves. Some crazy stuff came out during her time on the stand. Isabel claimed that she was able to summon a body double to basically just hang out with her husband while she was off gallivanting doing the devil knows what. There was said to be 13 involved in her coven. There was one male and one female leader, and she said that the devil appointed her as the female leader. Flying was another confession, of course. To fly, all they had to recite was horse and haddock and the devil's name with straw between their feet. Isabel and others were also able to shapeshift into animal forms. And what is a witch if they cannot control the weather? And that was another confession of hers. There was so much that Isabel confessed, one of the worst probably being that they took the body of an unbaptized baby and chopped it up to combine it with their own nail clippings, grain, and kale. A potion of some sort, I'm assuming. When she was done confessing, she didn't do the whole takesies backsies that most of the accused witches do after a confession. Nope. She went on to bring down her coven. She gave the names of the other 12 members of her coven, as well as others, giving over more than 40 names. Those names led to the same old song and dance for those people that Isabel got, just at a later date. The ending of Isobel Gowdie is not recorded, but we can only assume that after she confessed and did not recant that confession, that she was burned at the stake. So that is the story of Isobel Gowdie, the witch that took pride in her extracurricular activities, but also took her fellow witches down with her. If you have any other witches you would like for me to do an episode on, drop a comment below, and until next time.